brother, and 73 is my pleasure.
Okay, Alex. Always nice to work you. We'll talk with you later. I think we'll even be out here tomorrow as well. So 7-3s, everybody. Have fun. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QSY 14273.
73s.
CQ. Here's the frequency in use. CQ20, CQ 20 meters, CQ 20 meters. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ 20 meters. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ.
Kilo Oscar, Romeo Whiskey Bravo, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey.
Was there a Kilo Oscar 4 again?
Roger, Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey, Orlando, Florida.
Okay, fine business. You know, there's always a good thing and a bad thing about moving to a new a location, and that's trying to figure out who's doing what where. And we're having one of those days today. We switched to a new location for the live stream today, and we're still putting it back together. So I do apologize. I got the Kilo Oscar 4, but give me the rest again, please.
Roger, will do. It's Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey. Over.
Yeah, now my problem, not yours. Thanks, Keith. Sorry about that. I'm typing, but nothing was coming across the keyboard there, so I do apologize. Hey, good afternoon. The handler here is Randy. We're just outside of Kansas City, Missouri, about 35 miles, and we finally got here on the air. We're doing a live stream as well. Also, Alex down there in Cutler Bay, Whiskey 7 Hotel uniform. We came up here and found a spot. We're going to play radio this afternoon and make some contacts there. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Randy. Name here is Keith, Kilo Echo India Tango Hotel. Don't know whether we've worked before. Have you got me in your log?
Well, let me take a look here real quick. It does ring a bell, but this log that I have here is fairly updated, but I don't show a contact, but it's going to be in there today.
Yeah, well, nice to talk to you for the first time. I just turned on the set, and the band's pretty active at the moment, and I heard you calling CQ, and I thought I'd just say hello. I'm still playing around on the HF, just got my general license a few days ago, so it's not new to me. I was first licensed way back in the 60s in England, but over here I've taken up the hobby again. Haven't been on the air since about the 80s, so I've taken it up again, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Back to you.
Oh, that's terrific, man. Glad to hear it. Welcome aboard again. Yeah. You can never have enough fun, that's for sure. No, I think you're coming just about the right time. That Sun Cycle 25 is coming right around, and the bands are definitely active. 20 is really active today. I'm looking at the waterfall, and there's activity everywhere. Luckily, we're able to find the spot right here, and so we'll just kind of called CQ. You're the first contact today, but you're sounding good. We do have a hex beam. We're not able to rotate it today, so we're sitting right at 90 degrees. So hopefully that'll cover the eastern seaboard, and we'll be fortunate there. But I've got a terrific signal on you. As I said, Keith, we're doing a YouTube live stream as well. So if you're interested later or listening to the QSO and see how your audio is out there on the air, go ahead and give it a listen. Just go to YouTube and type in my call and look for today's date, and we'll have some fun with it there. Roger?
Yeah, roger that, Randy. Thank you. I'll probably just do that. You're about 5 over 9. Good signal, great signal coming in here. What's your QTH, please?
Yeah, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're central U.S. there, Roger.
Roger to that. I've got a 3-element beam, and it's pointed northeast, so you should be getting me front end, and I'd appreciate your signal report.
Oh, yeah, you're 5'9 plus 10, Keith. Not a problem whatsoever, and terrific audio to go along with it.
Thanks, Randy. Okay, so the weather here has been great today. It's been a beautiful day, and kind of in the 70s, 80s. What's your weather been like?
Well, we finally broke 20 degrees. We've been 11 days below 15. I think we had 22 yesterday, and I think we're going to be about 28 today. Almost short sleeve weather. Tomorrow we're supposed to have a high of 35. we're going to have ourselves a cookout. Shorts and T-shirts required there, Roger.
I don't think I'll join you. When I lived in the UK, I had a choice of probably 2 months of really nice weather and 9 months of miserable weather. And Florida gave me the opportunity to have 3 months of not too good weather and 9 months of very good weather, even if it's a couple of months over 100. And you know what? I'd rather stick to over 100 than below 30 any day. So it suits me, it suits my old bones. And but anyway, yeah, I'm back into amateur radio, thoroughly enjoying it. You know, on the HF, doing a bit of CW, and got my tower up and working now, and just having great fun with it. Days that I used to do amateur radio, it was all discrete components that you put together yourself, but nowadays it's amazing me, and I'm just blown away by the internet and satellite systems and all these new systems that have evolved and found their way in. And amateur radio now, it's more of a conversation hobby. You know, a lot of people just like to talk on the bands, which is great. And I don't know whether so many people actually get involved electronically now, not with all the new sets and integrated circuits and everything they do. It's a bit beyond me, that is. Back to you, Andy. K0RWB.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we know that it is getting more of a conversation, which is fine by me. Unless it's a contest, I'm not a big fan of 5.9 QRZ. So having a few minutes to take the time to see how things are going in your part of the world is always a lot of fun. So that's what we try to do. Like I said, we're out here every day. We're a little late start than usual today, but we usually try to get out here about 2 o'clock Central Time for a few hours, make a few contacts, have a few laughs, and so forth. But nice to have a chance to work. Yeah, like I said, I didn't see you in the log. It's fairly updated, so you will be in the log today, and hope you have a chance to stop by again. As I said, you want to listen to the Q, so just go to YouTube, put in my call, and if you're having fun with it, just hit the subscribe and like button, and the notifications will give you an idea when we're back again. And we'll just pick it up right where we left off, Keith. But again, thanks, and welcome back to the community. I think you're going to have a great time. Look forward to working you again. Let's say 7-3 Chanel. Enjoy your weekend coming up, and we'll see you down the log. Kilowatt Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend. 7-3s.
Thank you, Randy. 7-3s to you. It's really nice to talk to you, and it's nice to know that the antenna I've put up and got working now is giving me some good signals up there in Kansas City. I'll swing it around a bit and see what else I can find, and yep, we'll talk again. That's what amateur radio is all about. 73s, Randy. K0RWB. This is K0RWB. Clear.
Okay, Keith. Take care. 7-3s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City, QRZ.
Denmark, Mexico.
What a pileup. Hey, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. We'll try to get to everybody. I did catch one end of call that ended in Mexico. Give that one to me again, if you would, please.
It's Kilowatt X-Ray 3, Denmark, Mexico.
Okay, got you that time. Kilowatt X-Ray 3, Delta Mike, Donald. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Doing just fine. I heard you talking about your hex beam. I just bought one. I wonder how high you have it and how much you like it and anything you can tell me about it. I have one sitting out in my yard that I haven't got up on the roof yet with the rotor on kind of the bad weather here. Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, I think once you get it up, you'll find out it's quite a talker. I've had mine since 2012, and I bring it down once a year just for inspection, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It's good in bad weather, and it's good in good weather, so I think you'll be thoroughly happy with it. Roger?
Okay, yeah. How high do you have it? I'm only going to have mine at about 35 feet. Over.
Yeah, well, when I purchased mine, I was told that the optimum was between 30 and 50 feet, so I'm sitting at 45 feet from the base plate. It's sitting on top of my tower, and that seems to be a pretty good height. I've always been able to, if I hear you, I can generally work you. That's a nice thing with it. So I think if you're going to be 30 plus, I think you'll be in good shape, Roger.
Okay, thank you. I'm right now only running 100 watts. I have amp here, but I don't have it fired up. It's been giving me a little bit of trouble, the amp. So I'm only running 100 watt into a long horizontal loop antenna, which is not as high as 35 feet. It varies in all kind of heights, but it's, well, I think one point is about 35 feet, but most of it's down around 12 feet high. Over.
Yeah, well, you know, that kind of system, the higher the better, but it would certainly help to see what you can do when you get the hex beam up. I think you really like it.
Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of comparisons there. Yeah. The weather breaks here next month. I'll probably get it up on the roof. Your tower, how did you get it to the, is it a tilt over, or your tower, so it was pretty easy to install?
Yeah, it has a tilt over base, and I put a cable out about halfway up, and it has a pulley that's tied off to my my chimney of my house, and then just take a long rope and just kind of cinch it down. I don't have the rotor at the top. The my rotor is 4 foot off the ground inside the antenna, or excuse me, inside the tower, and then I run a center mass pipe up with a thrust bearing halfway up and a thrust bearing at the very top. That way I don't have the extra weight at the top of the tower. It makes it much easier to move around there, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand. Mine's mounted off of the peak of the roof, and that's why the elevation. And after I bought it, I thought we could run up a ladder with that and set it. Well, that ain't working. That thing is a lot bigger than I pictured it, you know. So I got it all set up and checking it out on the ground, and we're doing everything it should do. In fact, I've made contacts with it sitting there in the back grass, which only about 10, 15 feet off of the grass, you know. But anyhow, with this bad weather, I'm gonna have to rent a hoist to lift it up and set it on the rotor. The rotor's up there, everything's mounted. I just have to get a break in the weather and I'll get it up. But anyhow, enough. I was curious about your hex beam. Everybody I have ever talked to with a hex beam loves them. So I think I used to have a two-element quad up there at the same mount, but a couple of years ago we got a bad storm came through and tore it down, and I had made up my mind I'm not going to put another one up until this year. I said, you know what, I've got to try that hex beam. So that's what I'm. Anyhow, I want to tie you up, make some more contacts. 7 trees on this end. Thanks for the information, and look for you again. K0RWB, KX3DM.
Okay, Don, thanks for stopping by. Glad you did. Glad we got a chance to talk there. Just to verify, the call is Kilowatt 0, red, white, and blue, Romeo Whiskey Bravo. I had to put the extra letter in there. I couldn't do just 2, so anyway. No, fine business. Be careful when you go put it up. Make sure there's no ice or snow around, of course. No hurry, because you're getting out okay, but would love to have a chance to work you when you get it up in the air. I think you'll really enjoy it. 7-3 for now, and have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Kilowatt X-Ray 3, Delta Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear, 7-3s.
Yeah, 7-3s again. I copy.
K0 runs with bull. W2 WLD Whiskey 2 Whiskey.
Okay, Don, go ahead. We'll say 7-3s, and we'll go ahead and clear with you. See if November 3 Papa Kilowatt Juliet. November 3 Kilowatt Papa Juliet. Jim, are you in there?
Yeah, Roger, Amy. Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo from November 3 Papa Kilo Juliet. You have a copy on me?
Oh, I think you're doing okay this afternoon, Jim. I've got no problem hearing you. About 5'9". Little noise on the band, but no problem at all. And appreciate the kind words there on the chat, but you're doing pretty good yourself there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, at high end, you're 5'9" plus here, but right at the Pacific moment, you're 5'7", over.
Yeah, you know, it just kind of has been like that most of the week, Jim, and you know, it kind of comes and goes. I can't do anything about it, so we'll work it the best we can. We're like I said, we're on a kind of an alternate shack this afternoon, and so we've kind of pieced a few things together. Everything is the same equipment minus the amplifier, but we've got no way of turning the rotor in this location, so we had to set it at 90 degrees. So we're not dead on you, but we should be close enough, Roger.
Oh, yeah. You know, when you were talking to Alex, you were darn near 10 over, and now that the band seems a little, you know, as you said, you know, you should be able to get the Eastern Seaboard without an issue, and if you're getting here, then you shouldn't have an issue, over.
Yeah, I think I think it's pretty close. If it starts to get a little busier in the 6 and 7 call area later on, we can use the old Armstrong method and go out there and move it to about 270 and lock it in place. But for now, this will do. And the band is full of activity. I know there's a lot of others out there. I didn't realize there was so much activity this afternoon. So I'm certainly glad of that, and hope we can make lots of contacts. And hopefully you'll get your stream up, and you will as well there, Roger.
Oh, Roger, I'm actually streaming now. So, you know, later, you know, when you're done, take a look at about 2 hours and 7 minutes in, maybe, and a little bit before, and you can hear what you sound like to me, over.
Yeah, 5 minutes, I'll certainly do that. That's kind of how I started with Alex about a month or so ago. I checked in with him a few times and was able to hear the playbacks and make some adjustments, we think, for the better. So yeah, I do appreciate it, and congrats. I didn't realize you were streaming as well, so that's very cool. But appreciate you stopping by, Jim. I looked in the log. I thought we'd talked before, but I don't show it. So I'm going to make sure this one's updated, of course. But I'm glad you stopped by and we had a chance to talk. And it kind of helps when you do a little chat there as well. So, hey, I'll say 7-3, see if we can grab a few more yet this afternoon. But good luck with the channel, and I've watched some of yours. You do a great job, and I know you'll continue doing so. But we'll see if we can catch up to you one of these days. Who knows? Have a great weekend, my friend, and thanks for stopping by. November 3, Papa Kilowatt Juliet, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. I'll be clear, my friend, 7-3s.
Okay, 73 there.
Whiskey 2, Whiskey Lima Delta.
For the call back, and enjoy your time playing radio. Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo from November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet, 7-3.
Okay, thanks again, 7-3, Jim. And we'll go ahead and clear with you. Whiskey 2, Whiskey Lima Delta. Bill, are you still in there?
I certainly am. Good afternoon, Randy. Boy, does your signal stand out on the band. You're 20 over S9 in upstate New York, and I'd like to know what's in your audio chain. Anything special, over?
A microphone that goes to the rig, and then whatever the adjustments are inside. It's a 7300. There's not a lot of adjustment with it. So, well, thank you much, but I haven't done anything with it. But you know, when the conditions are good, I guess it's great there. But I do appreciate the flowers there. But you were 5'9" plus as well, so don't feel bad.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I heard a 7300 yesterday and was impressed with the audio for such a little rig. But boy, you sound great. I guess there is kind of a pileup trying to get in, so I won't hold it. We've had snow on and off for the last 14, 15 hours, but not really accumulating much. Not as bad as the storm we got a couple months ago, where we got 28 inches all at once. So, hey, we live up here, and that's what we deal with. K0RWB, Run with Bulls, W2WLD.
I have no problem, Bill. No, the snow is snow. We didn't have a lot, but we had the cold to go with it, and I don't like those two. By the way, your signal is 20 over as well, so we've got a nice little corridor, so to speak. But no, I'm glad we had a chance to chat there. I didn't know if you caught the last one or not, but we're actually live streaming on YouTube. So if you're curious about your audio as well, you can always do the playback here on our QSO, and you'll have a chance to listen to it. But yeah, the little 7300s are great little rigs. We really have enjoyed it. We've had it a month today, and it has certainly met and exceeded our expectations. So, but yeah, give it a listen if you're curious. Just type in my call on YouTube and look for today's date, and you can do the playback. We enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of comments about it. And so we're going to continue doing it until people say they're tired of it. But anyway, thanks for stopping in. Sounds good in New York. And most of you guys on the East Coast do anyway. I don't know what's in the water or in the air over there, but you guys are always doing real well. 7-3's Bill, and stop by again some other time. We're here during the week, and usually on Saturdays as well, about 2 o'clock Central Time for a few hours, or until the band dies out. But we look forward to working you again. I'll say 7-3 for now. Whiskey 2, Whiskey Lima Delta, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. Clear, my friend.
Okay, my pleasure, Randy. Take care, 7-3, K0RWB, W2, WLD.
Juliet Oscar Echo.
Now, Juliet Oscar Echo again, please.
Okay. It's Kilo 3, Juliet Oscar Echo.
Okay, I got you. Kilowatt 3, Juliet Oscar Echo. Good afternoon, Joe. Well, that sounds like a great call as well. How are you doing this afternoon?
Very good, thank you. Very good. I'm also brand new to the ham radio altogether, and I just picked up my 7300. And as you said, I am happy. I tried the 991 is what I was going to go with, and then I tried this one, and I love this one much better.
Yeah, they're real popular for a reason. Other than the price point, that's a great selling point as well. But I've heard tons of them out there. They all sound great. There's a couple of little tweaks here and there that you can do with the audio. That's what I've done over the last several weeks, and had a lot of help from folks out there in radio land. I think we've got it dialed down pretty good. We do have a Heil mic on boom, which does seem to make a little bit of a difference. But I have yet to really hear a bad 7300. There's ways to tweak them to get a little bit more of a fullness type of a sound. But, other than that, I think dollar for dollar, they're a pretty nice little rig. Tell me about the antenna as well, because you got a terrific signal.
That's the funny part. I'm waiting for my antenna to come in. Right now, I am on a random end fed, about I'd say about 75 feet of wire out. And I'm just strung over a tree in my backyard.
Wasn't that a great thing about amateur radio? I mean, you could talk on 6 foot of chicken wire and get it resonant and just have a ball with it. So, no, that's terrific. And what's the antenna that's on the way?
I have bad part is I'm in a HOA who's not happy with antennas, and I have a 205 foot end fed on this right now.
Oh, well, fine business. Well, that ought to work quite well for you. I mean, they always say that 90% of the stations should be antenna, 10% everything else. So, I kind of take that to heart. So we are running a hex beam. We're pointed right at 90 degrees. We don't have any way of rotating the beam in this location, so we just pointed at the East Coast, and it's always served us quite well. And the rest of the equipment's nothing out extraordinary, so to speak. So we've had a good time using it, and it's serviced well. And we look forward to when you get everything squared away there. We hope you have a chance to stop by again, and we'll give you some signal reports and see how things work out there for you. Go ahead.
Okay, final question for you. Are you on Logbook of the World?
I do upload to LOTW, yes.
Okay, I thank you very much. I'm just starting out on trying to do the 50 states, and I'm just picking them off one by one.
Oh, terrific! Worked all states. Yeah, that's a great one to start with. So we usually upload into LOTW on Sunday evening. So probably come Monday morning or so, you should be able to see the contact for Missouri there, Roger.
Okay, I thank you very much, and you have a great day and stay safe.
Okay, same as you there, Joe. Thanks for stopping in, and love the call, by the way. Congrats. I think that's pretty cool. Have a great weekend, and come back again sometime real soon, and we'll pick up where we left off. I'll say 7-3 Chanel. Kilo 3, Juliet Oscar Echo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, 7-3s.
Germany Tango.
Kilo Charlie 3, Hotel Romeo Sierra.
Was there a Germany Tango again?
In Mexico.
Please copy. Kilowatt Charlie 4, Juliet Golf Tango. Kilowatt Charlie 4, Jolly Good Time. Randy, and the name is Lindell. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you that time, Lindell. You got through that pile up. I didn't realize it was that popular this afternoon, but yeah, fine business. We've got a station just a little bit above us that's got a little bit of QRM, but we're able to get through that. So how are things in Virginia this afternoon? Go ahead.
Well, I've been watching since the trees iced up last night. They've been de-icing today, so the ice has been dropping out of trees as if it's falling from the sky. You almost have to walk around the yard with a helmet on, Randy. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, we have that problem around here from time to time. We didn't this last storm. It came down really light and fluffy snow, and no ice before that, which is unusual for central U.S. But about 6 on the ground, and I think tomorrow will really start to melt after 11 days below 15 degrees. So we're definitely looking forward to it, and I think at this point, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a good chance of pushing up to 60. So that sounds more like it there, Roger.
That's a switch. I think you said you're in Kansas. That's a switch for Kansas. That's for darn sure. Yeah, you've got your 7300 set up pretty good. I'm talking to you on an FT891. The 891 is probably one of the most underrated radios in ham radio, Roger.
You know, it doesn't get near as much credit as it should. I had a conversation on the same topic yesterday. It is a terrific radio that I think gets overlooked just because it doesn't have all the frills and doesn't look as fancy as some others. But it is definitely a workhorse, and I have no problem copying it all. So either the band's in great shape, you've got a great signal, we got a combination of thereof. I'm not going to second guess it, so we'll just work them while we can there, Roger.
Yeah, well, you got propagation in your favor at the moment. So the antenna is simple. It's an 8-foot resonator with a loading coil and 2 counterpoise wires off the bottom of it, set up for 20 meters. I run the 718, which is the mother radio to that 7300, and it's the audio quality is very similar. The difference on the 7300 is you have control points on it that the 718 doesn't have, but they're still comparable to one another, and you apparently are really enjoying yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a month today. We have a great time with it so far. We did place an order for a new rig this morning, which will be here next week. So we're going to kind of see where that goes there, Roger.
Yeah, I'm curious. What did you order?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I've had a lot of people ask me that, and they'll just have to wait until I get on the air next week.
Okay. Well, if propagation's open, I'm sure I'll hear about it. All right, Randy, you got other ones standing in line there. Thanks for picking up my call. 73 KC4JGT.
Okay, Lindell. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you need to go to my channel. You need to put in my call. You need to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button, so when I come back on the air, you'll know about it, and then you can be first in line on the first cue. So how does that sound?
Well, I mean, that sounds all well and good, but you're talking to a guy who was on the internet for 30 years. I'm a musician. I promoted my music on it. I've got music on the internet, but I have shut the internet down. I don't even use K0RWB. Go ahead.
Well, paper logs are okay, but well, let's put it this way. We try to be out here every afternoon at 2 o'clock Central Time, and we try to be up here on 20 meters, and I look for a frequency that ends in the number 3. So today we're at 14273, if that'll narrow it down for you, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, I won't be looking for your channel. I don't even have an account on YouTube, and I'm not even going to follow it. So anyway, 73s, have fun, enjoy your new radio, and we'll catch you another day. Kilowatt Charlie 4, Juliet Golf Tango.
Yeah, it sounds great, Lindell. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Glad we got a chance to talk. Hope to work you again real soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend as well. We'll say 7-3s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0RWB.
Kilo Charlie 3,
Kilo Charlie 3,
Alpha
Hotel
Juliet Mike.
Romeo Sierra.
Kilo Charlie 3, Hotel Romeo Sierra. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Fine and dandy here. Randy, nice to see you. Nice to hear you. The page looks great. The channel looks wonderful. Are you running barefoot? Because you're 20 over S9. Go ahead.
No, I think I'm doing about. Let me look here. I'm doing 52% in and about 550 out.
QSL, yeah, you're sounding great out here. The channel looks great. Nice to see you getting your feet wet there with the live streaming stuff. This is Frank, and I'm in Philadelphia. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I know the call, and I know the logo. Terrific logo. Well, we've been playing around with a few of the slide things, or whatever you call them, the PNGs that you sent, and I've had some success and not very much success. So it's a work in progress. But, yeah, it's one of those deals. You sound wonderful as well. I'm not sure exactly which rig you're using, but, like I said, we're stuck at 90 degrees on the beam today. We don't have any way of moving it around here in this location, so we kind of get half of one or two of the other, so to speak, and we'll just make it work the best we can. Roger?
Yeah, Randy, no, you're sounding great. Yeah, I'm pointing my hex beam right at you, so it'd be kind of difficult for us to miss each other. Sounds great. No problem, buddy. Give me a call whenever you need any help. No problem. We can give you whatever information we have. But it's starting to look really good out there. I wish you well. Have fun with the pileup. It sounds like kind of busy today. So Kilo 0, Romeo, Whiskey, Bravo, Kilo Charlie 3, Hotel, Romeo Sierra 73, my friend.
Yeah, okay, Frank. Thanks again. And again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to repay you for the time and the trouble, but we'll figure something out for sure. But yeah, I really do like that logo you have up there on the main page. So 7-3, thanks for coming in, and yeah, you were able to get up over top of the pile up there, but we'll grab as many as we can and work them as long as we can. So I appreciate you coming in, and yeah, we'll talk real soon. I'll see what the weekend looks like. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk real quick and maybe pick your brain a little bit. So we'll see if well, I know you can help me. We'll just see how much you're well into. 7-3, Frank. We'll talk to you again real soon. Kilowatt Charlie 3, Hotel Romeo Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. 7-3s.
QSL 73, Randy. Bye-bye.
And QRZ. Kilo, is it Kilo Echo 8?
Roger. Kilo Echo 8 Lima, X-ray November.
Yeah, I think I got you that time. We got somebody right above us that's hitting us pretty hard. From let's see here, Don from West Virginia. Roger.
QSL, you're 5-9 into Whiskey Victor.
Yeah, well, fine business. You know, I don't get into West Virginia too often. There's another station I do talk with from time to time, K0RWB November Yankee. That would be Bob, and he's in West Virginia as well. Actually, my wife is from Morgantown, but I don't get many stations from there. I guess my timing's off there, Don. Go ahead. Yeah, you know, I wish we were doing a little better today, but the band is what it is, and we'll have to work through it. I guess everybody's in the same condition I am, but I wish everybody was 5-9 plus 20, but, you know, I guess the bands just kind of move around a little bit, and we'll work everybody the best we can. Roger? Yeah, you're right. I've got somebody right below me that's just kind of bleeding over a little bit. And Don, I didn't really quite catch the last go around. Try it again.
Roger. Yeah, I can hear that station right below us. I just wanted to thank you for coming back to me. 7-3. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay, Don. No, thank you so much for stopping in. And I'm glad we had at least get a short QSO. We'll get you in the log, and we'll upload here on Sunday night. So if you need to contact, it'll be there. 7-3s, and glad we were able to pull you out. Have a great weekend coming up. Kilo Echo 8, Lima X-Ray November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. 7-3s, my friend. K0RWB, QRZ.
November 4, Bravo, Lima, Lima.
November 4, Bravo, Lima, Lima. Go ahead.
Roger. The name is John. We're located on a boat in Georgia.
Oh, so you're a Marine mobile there. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Just heard you coming through very strong here. You're 5'9" and right outside Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, fine business in Savannah. Well, you know, I could get on the lakes around here, but I'd have to have an ice house. They've all frozen over, which really the large bodies is quite unusual. But we've had a pretty tough cold stretch here the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's a little different than what we're used to. But gosh, you sound really good for a Marine mobile there, Roger.
Roger. So where are you located and your name?
Yeah, sure thing, John. The handle here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee, and we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're about a mile off the Interstate 70 there, Roger.
Okay, Randy. Well, good to hear from you. The bands have been pretty much dead here lately, but I'm on the boat right now and just turned it on, and you're the loudest I can hear. So you're 5'9" plus in Georgia.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, we spent some time in that part of the world. We had lived we stayed 3 years down in Valdosta. We were there in the early 90s, and that's when the Braves were really good, of course, with Sid Bream, and of course you know all the pitchers, and had a wonderful time, and always did enjoy that southern part of the state. Was quite nice. So whenever we have a chance to talk with another station there in Georgia, we always try to grab them there, Roger.
Roger. Okay, Randy. Well, I appreciate the call, and you are very strong. We've got very good friends. We live at kind of a retirement community here. We got some good friends from Kansas City that we had dinner with a couple nights ago. It's cold down here, but not frozen.
Yeah, well, it must be warm enough to be on the boat, unless it's an enclosure with a heater. But no, I totally understand. If I could get on the water right now, I would, but I'd have to go 1,000 miles south to really find anything comfortable. So I think we'll just stay here and hunker down. Well, however, it is one day closer to spring, so we've all got that shooting for us. John, thanks for giving us a shout there, and I'm glad you stopped by. Hopefully we'll have a chance to work again real well. And first time I can remember in a long time I've worked a Marine mobile, so thank you for that. I'll make sure I put a special comment in the log here for that. So 7-3s, have a great weekend, and stop by again sometime, and we'll just pick up where we left off. I'll save 7-3s for now. November 4, Bravo Lima Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. 7-3s, my friend.
Okay, Randy, thanks for coming back to us. We're in a 50-foot trawler with heating, air conditioning, and everything, so it's pretty comfortable here. Good to see you, 7-3.
Yeah, 1 sec.
November 4, Bravo, Lima Lima, Maritime Mobile. We're clear, thanks.
Okay, John, 7-3s. We'll go ahead and clear. Did I hear a Kilo Alpha station again? Kilo Alpha, come on back.
Kilo Alpha 3, India, Oscar, November.
Okay, got you that time. Kilo Alpha 3, India, Oscar, November. Paul, how are you this afternoon?
Oh, pretty good. Weather's clearing up a little bit, but now it's going to get cold.
Yeah, I think 2/3 of the country is saying the same thing you and I are. It is just cold and cold there, Roger.
Roger. It's winter time. I guess we have to put up with it.
Yeah, I think it snuck up on us. We were doing really well for a long time here, even through the month of January. Usually when we get to January, we only got about 65 days we have to worry about. But I didn't think they'd come all at once. But I think we're starting to come back out of the deep freeze, and they're calling for nicer weather next week, so we'll keep our fingers crossed there. Hopefully you'll have the same thing there, Roger.
That's Roger. It's like a call for you, basically. You want a little snow Monday again, but that's okay.
Well, I don't mind the moisture. Just I hate to have the cold with it all the time. So I'd rather have the rain than the snow, so to speak. But we don't get a choice in that one either. They're doing.
I just like the snow and cold weather, but I don't more. The old bones are hot.
Yeah, you know it's something as we get older. It's the cold doesn't quite isn't quite as agreeable as we're younger in our years. That's for sure. So we try to stay warm here the best we can, but it'll all be over here soon enough, and we'll end up laughing about it later on. Paul, thanks for stopping by. We'll see if we can get a few more contacts before we shut it down today. But I'm glad we had a chance to get a quick QSO. Glad to heard you in there, and hope you have a great weekend coming up. Look for us again. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. I'll say 7-3s to you now. So take care, my friend. Kilowatt Alpha 3, India Oscar November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. We'll say 7-3s.
Hello, Randy. Kilowatt 0, Romeo Whiskey Bravo, Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Echo Sierra.
Okay, Paul, take care. We'll go ahead and clear with you. Let's see. First time, long time. Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Echo Sierra. Oh, that sounds like Armando.
Hey, how you doing, Randy? I finally catch you today. How's it going?
Oh, you know what? We moved to another location, so we kind of threw everything together real quick. We're not able to move the beam around at this location, and we're on a different. We're on the same radio but different amplifier, and I think it's working. And it looks like what I'm seeing right now on the stream is you can hear me and I can hear you, so that's the main thing, Roger.
Knowing pitch, I've been able to kind of notch it out for the most part, but it's there. It must be on my end. I've got some kind of local interference, but you're still booming right through it, Randy. Over.
No, there's a station below and a station above me. The band is really crowded. It wasn't like that earlier, and it is what it is, Armando, and we just kind of worked through it. I hear a little bit. I've kind of notched it out a little bit, but I don't have any problems hearing you. So are you on the 846 or on the 7300?
No, I'm on the 7300, pretty much with the same settings you left it. I have to admit, I did bump up the compression level only because my friend in Texas was having trouble hearing me last night, so I did boost it up. But the rest of the audio settings, I left it the way you set them over.
Yeah, and see, you're 10/9, so the band is really good. You know, since you said bump up compression, I bumped mine up too, but you won't hear a difference, will you?
Well, you always sound great, no matter what compression level you set it at, Randy. Over.
Yeah, well, that's nice for you to say. My mistake. I don't know why I said 846. It's an 847. My bad. You know what I meant. Yeah, and we ordered a new rig this morning, so we'll have a big surprise next week, and we'll wait and see what everybody thinks about it there, Roger.
Roger. Well, I'm not going to ask what you got. I'll wait to hear it. Over.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Alex this morning, and of course I texted him, and he texted me right back, and he said, "Which one?" And I said, "Well, you'll just have to wait and hear." And he he didn't like that too much. So I talked to him right in the beginning before I came on the stream, and he was up on 310, and he asked me again. I said, "No." I said, "Everybody's going to have to wait till next week, and we'll figure it out what it is."
Okay, good for you. You know, it's part of. You got to keep people in suspense, right? You got to keep people in suspense. That way they'll tune back into your channel next week. Over.
Well, I like to think so. It's something to draw people. I mean, there's lots of options. We all want to make contact. Lots of options. I'm very pleased with it. So far this week, we've had a few more subscribers. We're at 82. I would like to get to 100 by Sunday. So I've got 18 more to go. So that's what I'm shooting for, and that will probably give some, it'll give me a good reason to start letting people know what the new rig is, Roger.
Roger. No, very good. Well, congratulations. I hope you meet that milestone. It's always good to have a milestone. So you said it, and I'm sure you'll get there. I mean, I keep giving you thumbs up whenever I go on your YouTube channel. It's just a great what you and Alex and a few others do is just phenomenal. Over.
It's really cool because everybody kind of handles things in a little different way, which is really kind of nice. Alex is is, you know, he's certainly far and above what I'm doing right now, and I'm looking to get to that point. The KB2ULA is out there, and then I talked with Jim earlier. He's in Pennsylvania, and it is really kind of cool. Everybody kind of brings a little something different to the table. There's 100 watts in a wire. He's in Florissant, Missouri, right down the road from me, and you know, it's a really growing community. And it's really kind of fun how everybody's kind of pulling together, because it's really not a competition, but everybody's really pulling for each other and stuff. And I've had a lot of people help me along the way, because there's just no way you could do this by yourself. But it's the nice thing about amateur radio. You know, I think if you put a call out there, there'd be tons and tons of people willing to come and help. Roger?
Oh, Roger. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's part of the community give back, and I'm glad you guys are communicating. In fact, I heard you yesterday. I think you were on Alex's channel, and he was very strong, and you were not that strong, so we did not have good propagation yesterday, which is why I did not call in. But today I heard you. I've been hearing you for a while now, and you've been solid 5.9. So I decided, all right, let me see if he can hear me here with my off-center fed antenna. Over.
Yeah. Well, yesterday. I couldn't run the amplifier. I was interfering with the wife's headset as she was doing a training class, so we were running barefoot, and so we moved to a different location, and I'm using my old solid-state amplifier, which is only doing about 500. So far I haven't had a knock on the door, so apparently we're not doing any type of interference. But it's imagine of trying to get everything put together, throw it down here, get all the cables together, and reroute this and reroute that and so forth. But it does make it fun. And again, the radio's doing the work. I'm just sitting here.
Okay, very good. Well, it sounds great. Randy. All right, well, let me let you make some other contacts there before you shut down. It was good to hear you. And I hope you still like the way this station is sounding over on your way over.
No, I think it sounds great. I really do. And I don't think you hurt yourself at all doing a little bit of compression. So the thing is when you start getting too high and it really starts to hurt the ears, that's when it gets to be too much. But no, I think it's very pleasing. I wouldn't change a thing with it there, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Okay, well, thanks again, Randy. Great to hear you. That's the 73, and I'll keep listening out for you and giving you thumbs up, and I look forward to hearing you with the new radio next week. Good luck with that, and have a nice weekend if I don't talk to you. Kilowatt 0, Romeo Whiskey Bravo. This is Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Echo Sierra.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Armando. Always nice to hear you out there, and you know, you're always welcome anytime. We'll talk as long as we need to, do what we want to make sure we're able to help each other. I do appreciate it, and I'm glad you did stop by and say hi. I think things are a little bit better for us today than yesterday. So 7-3s, my friend, and we'll catch you again real soon. And I look forward to it. Kilo Charlie 2, Echo Echo Sierra, Armando in New York on that big rig 7300. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We're clear. 7-3s.
7-3.
K0RWB.
Kilo Rodeo 4, Hotel.
Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel. Big signal. Good afternoon, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, hey, Randy. Good to hear you. I'm really getting you in good today as well, about 20 over. And see, we last made contact on the 26th of January. I'm going to take a guess, Randy, add a little intrigue to this new rig. I'm thinking you're going for the Yaesu 101D. Somehow I just have a feeling about that.
What, were you listening to my purchase this morning on the phone or what?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just have a feeling that's the one you're going for.
Well, you know, only time will tell next week when we're on the air, won't it?
Yeah, I may be off. There's so many good choices today. You know, each have their own little points. I don't think you could make a wrong pick. But anyway, real cool. I'll be sitting on pins and needles and waiting to hear about that.
Yeah, you know, I don't think you could be any brighter. Signal-wise, you're 30 over. Gosh, I don't know. Are you next door or something? That's probably the best signal I've had in a long time, Dave. I'm not sure what you're doing. Yes, by the way, there are some really good radios out there. I would have to say that we're really fortunate. We've got manufacturers that we're making some terrific products. And this radio here is only a month old. There's nothing wrong with it. It's going to be a portable rig, backup rig. The one that's coming offers a few other things that this one does not. Doesn't mean it's less of a radio, but there are some things we've kind of decided that we would like to have in the rig, and the abilities of what it could do for us. And we just decided to pull the trigger this morning. So it's coming out of Phoenix, and we should have it sometime next week. So yeah, we're kind of looking forward to it.
Good for you. It's always a thrill to get a new rig. I'm waiting for Kenwood to come out with an SDR. I'm hoping they'll jump in within the year or two and go ahead and put one out.
Well, you know, it's to me, or any amateur who's been around for a while, you can always tell if someone's talking on a Kenwood. They do have a certain audio quality that I don't think has been reproduced by other manufacturers, but it has a very unique audio texture, as I call it. My first two rigs were Kenwood, so I've had the full gamut of the major brands, and I can't say a bad thing about any of them. One does something a little bit different than the other one does, and so on and so forth. And then advancements in technology. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, like I said, what yours is right now is broadcast quality. It's like sitting right here.
Oh, well, thanks, Randy. Yeah, well, you know, everything's work in progress. I mean, I don't believe there's any real perfection out there in anything, but I think that to mess with it if you enjoy it, to tweak with it is a lot of fun. A lot of people poo-poo that, but hey, we're all got our own angles when we come into this hobby. You know, if you think about it, it's basically your orientation to it or your intent as to how you apply things and what you seek out.
Yeah, it's very true. One thing I do have trouble trying to digest is there are several rigs out there in the $10,000 plus range. Now that I haven't quite figured out, so maybe that's just me. But and we're not even close to that range with the new rig. I mean, if someone wants to, I'd be more power to them, and I'd be happy to talk with them on the air. But that's the part that I have a hard time kind of dealing with. And those who are not in the hobby certainly have a hard time with it. So everything is relative there, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you're paying the most for that last, what they say, 5 or 10%. You see it with other things, too, musical instruments and what have you. Sometimes it's only a lot of cosmetic, you know. It may not be any real much performance or perceived. Let's use that word, perceived performance. You know, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or the ear, in this case, hi. So there you go. You get your money and you spend it like you want, don't you?
Well, you know, you like to think so. You know, if you're married, there's a fine line between whose money and where the money goes. But so far so good. We've been able to navigate through that fairly well, Roger.
Yeah, we have too. It's been a lot of years and a lot of negotiation. But you know, you pick your poison. But it's all good. It's all good. And we got a weekend coming up, and it sounds like you guys are thawing out. We've had it light here, real light. You know, maybe 28 degrees at night. We had a lot of rain, but nothing frozen, no snow, and none of that.
Yeah, you're very fortunate. You know, we haven't had it terrible bad, and as the amount of snow, we've had some very, very cold weather, some very, very cold mornings below zeros, and so forth. But apparently nothing to what's been happening in Texas. And there's a nightly group that I check in with, the 3916 group, and the majority of them are in the state of Texas, and it's really unfortunate, you know, some of the issues they've had. I have a brother who lives over here on the Kansas side. He had a couple of blackouts, rolling blackouts this last week and what have you. And I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. I think they said 2/3 of the country had sub-zero temperatures and had snow and so forth. But tomorrow we're going to be 35 degrees. We're having a party. T-shirts and shorts are required. We're having a cookout. So we expect a big turnout after having the below zero temperatures. It's going to feel like we're in the 80s tomorrow there, Roger.
Good deal for you. K0RWB, KR4HH. Well, I hope you have a great time, Randy. Yeah, well, Texas, the storms really brought out some things that I guess people weren't expecting. It's going to be a lot of fallout with that. It also sounds like Texas, being Texas, wants to be independent and didn't have provisions to hook into anybody else's grid. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to hog it. Great connection here, great pipeline. I think we must have slipped Mother Nature a 20. Anyway, Randy, have a great weekend at your party, and really enjoy what you're doing here. We'll log you in again, and we'll look forward to this the mystery rig. We'll see what it's going to be. I'll let you go. K0RWB, KR4HH73.
Okay, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Sound good as always. Always when you have a free minute, come on by. Always enjoy talking with you. And we don't want to hype it up too much, but some people will be surprised and some people will be shaking their head. That's okay. I had to spend the money, so it is what it is. Have a great weekend, and look for us again. We look forward to talking when we can. Hotel Romeo 4, Kilowatt Romeo 4, Hotel Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, 7-3s.
Kilo Delta 2, Delta United Lima. Kilo Delta 2, Delta United Lima.
The Kilo Delta 2 station again, please.
Oh, thank you. Kilo Delta 2, Delta United Lima. ED2, Delta United Lima.
Okay, Steve, I got you that time. There's a station right below me that's making a little noise. I got you that time. Hey, thanks for coming back there. Nice to get a chance to work you. Like I said, the name is Randy, and we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City playing radio this afternoon and also doing a live stream on YouTube there. Roger?
Okay, Roger. Kansas City, here I come. This is KD2BUS. Steve in Princeton, New Jersey, running pretty low power to an attic dipole and watching the snow. Over.
Yeah, fine business. Well, keep that snow that direction. We've had enough here for the winter as far as I'm concerned. Give me some rain, but let's not have any more snow. So I can do without it. Hopefully you've got yourself prepared and you won't get too much at one time, so you can not have to worry about having to get out in this nonsense. The snow, I think at some point it's going to have to end, but apparently you guys are getting another round of it there, Roger.
Won't stop. Ready, but it won't stop. I think it'll last tomorrow and through the week. It's going to be nice and here too. At least that's what the weatherman is saying. But a whole month almost, just snow and snow and snow. And that's okay. As long as spring comes soon. Not much I can say. I can't really do much because of all the snow, so I'm just waiting it out. I'll let you go because I know you're just racking them up left and right. And thanks for coming back to me. So Steve in Princeton, New Jersey, near Trenton, and sending it back to you.
Yeah, Steve, no, I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad we had a chance to work there. There's a big signal down at 270 that's just kind of running around a little bit. So we notched him out a little bit, and we're able to hear you quite well that last go-round. So I'm glad to see that the rig is working for us. And I did copy low power, but you didn't say what it was, or at least if you did, I missed it. So if you give me a quick one on that go-around, then we'll move on there, Roger.
Well, this is a news to me. 706. I got it down to about 50 watts, I think. And figure out how to make the CW gear work, but one thing at a time. And the 20 meters seems to be my band. It's an attic dipole, but it gets down okay. I was very low elevation, so I always say it's low power, so people know not to expect too much. And you have a great weekend, Randy. I'm glad you answered me. I'll send it back to you, and I'll declare on your final. K0RWB, KD2DUL.
Yeah, okay, Steve. No, I'm glad you did. But like I said, yeah, it's a good rig, and I copied the 50 watts. You know, when it works, it works, and so we're able to make contact. That's the main thing. But I'm glad you stopped by. We're kind of out here every afternoon about 2 o'clock Central Time for a few hours. So if you hear us back out there, come on back, and we'll just pick it up where we left off. Maybe we'll have a little better conditions. The band is kind of crowded and noisy today, but everybody's having fun with the radio, so that's the main thing. 7-3s, have a great weekend coming up. Hope to talk to you again real soon, Steve. So come on back, and we'll have some good time with it. Be careful with that snow. Keep your head down there with that COVID stuff as well, and you and the family have a good one. Kilowatt Delta 2, Delta Lima, Uniform Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, 7-3s.
K0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, when you sign. K0RWB, Kilowatt 1 Norway, Denmark, France, over.
I heard, let's see, Kilowatt 1, November Delta Foxtrot. Is that a Roger?
Yes, it is. Where are you located, sir?
We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri there. Go ahead.
25 miles what?
25 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, you got a good signal. My name is Neil, and UTH here is Framingham, Massachusetts, which is 20 miles west of Boston. I'm running a Kenwood TS2000 with an Alpha 87A in the antenna, a 30-week, 3-day-old 4-element stepper. It's been up since the last day of June. It's up 70 feet. Over.
Well, I'd say it's working there for you. I didn't have any trouble pulling you out. There is a little activity on the band, and there's a station down on 270 that's kind of bleeding over from time to time, but I didn't have any trouble copying you. Did copy Massachusetts, Neil, and I don't see a contact, so we appreciate that this afternoon. And yeah, fine business on the equipment, doing quite well for you. We're running a hex beam 45 feet from the base plate, but at this location I'm at, I have no way of moving it around, so it's pointed right at 90 degrees, so it's kind of hitting the eastern seaboard the best we can, but so far the band's been in our favor, and we're working out pretty well there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wish I wish the doggone solar cycle would get going. It really went up like a shot last November. Although I think the bottom of the cycle, I think it was April of last year, I believe. So the cycle is still very young, and we certainly think that the solar flux peak really. I think it was kind of a false peak we had last fall. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds as though this Sun Cycle 25 is supposed to be pretty good, so I'm waiting for it to. The bands aren't bad. I'm not complaining as to where they've been the last several years, but it would be nice to see them come back around like they were in the mid-teens, about 2012 to 16. I thought they were in pretty good shape, but we're making contact, so we can't complain per se. I'm in Missouri, you're in Massachusetts, and we're talking. So the bands are working, though, Roger.
Yep, we're doing good. Now, what kind of rig did you say you had? I know you got a hex beam, but what kind of rig is it?
I'm running an ICOM 7300.
That is such a standard station now. You see a lot of guys running the 7300s and the hex beams. Over.
Yeah, you do. It seems to be a really good combination. This rig is a month old today, and it has certainly met and exceeded some of our expectations so far, and no complaints. We did order a new rig. It'll be here this next week. The 7300 will be more as a backup and for portable operations. And we've got another rig that will be the mainstay for the shack. Roger.
Did you order a 7610?
Oh, that's a big surprise. I got everybody out there listening. I told them I'd let them know next week once I got on the air.
Great. Yeah, the hex beam does an amazing. Matter of fact, I mean, and I'm not saying that I don't love the stepper. I do. And it was a lot of money. I waited 18 years to buy it because, until they perfected them. The motors were going, the sprockets were going, the EHUs, everything. People were taking down steppers because they couldn't keep them up. But now Stepper's finally made an antenna that is really good, and they've got the bugs out of them. But I'm telling you, I know that the Stepper is better, but the Stepper costs 10 times more. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey, no doubt. This one I bought in 2012, delivered to my door for right at $500, and the same company is still offering the same hex beam delivered to the door for $600. So that's pretty good in 9 years, and that is substantially less than some other antennas out there. There are better antennas, no doubt, but this is a good poor man's beam. And I think anytime you can direct your signal, it'll increase your enjoyability of the hobby. So I have no complaints, and I wouldn't trade this for anything, Roger.
I don't blame you. I love the Stepper. I'm very happy with it, as I should be. But, yes, the Stepper's going to have 3 or 4 more dB gain, than a Stepper. It's 4 elements instead of 2, and instead of 4 or 5 dB, I think you get about 7 or 8 dB. You get 3 or 4 dB more, but it's also 10 times the price. Over.
Yeah, and if you're hitting me at 20 to 30 over, you're like you are right now, nobody knows the difference.
Exactly. In fact, I'm going to show you something. I was working a 0 before, and my antenna, I had it on the reverse mode and had forgotten that I left it there. And I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it around, and I think you'll see quite a difference. But I'm going to turn the antenna now towards the back. Over.
Yeah, that's fine.
K0RWB. This is Kilowatt 1 Norway, Denmark, France. This is the back. Over.
Yeah, you're still 10 to 15 over.
I'm still about 10 to 15 over.
Yep, yeah, I've still got you about 10 to 15 over.
Before?
Yep, 10 to 15 over.
Now the antenna's back towards you. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a noticeable difference. But yeah, that's what it's designed for.
Yeah. What am I doing now on the front?
About 30 over. Yeah, so that's not making a difference there. Really, it sounds really good. There was just a little bit more noise when you were pointed the other direction. That's really it, but your signal's still pretty good.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's great. Worked. Yeah, I'd like to be able to work some of the JAs on 20 meters. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. In fact, I'm going to go down on CW about. Let me see what time is it now. 5:01. I'm going down about a half an hour. I'm going to go on 20 meters, and I'm going to call CQDX, and sometimes about 5:30 or so, I get some JAs to come back to me, and at least it's it's a path that's a little bit open now these days. Over.
Yeah, we work them a little bit here as well on phone, and it's about 2 hours later for you. It's about 7:30 your time, 5:30 my time, give or take. And sometimes a little later, so even around 6 or 6:30 Central, they do come in quite well, and we're able to make a few contacts. But yeah, not on a regular basis. So the conditions definitely had to be in our favor, and that may be just my location. I'm not sure, but Neil, let me close it off here. We'll see if I've got a few more contacts before we got to shut down. But I would say your equipment is doing you a fantastic job. It sounds terrific. I don't know if you heard or if I mentioned it to you, but I'm actually live streaming on YouTube right now as well. So if you're interested in listening to your audio, you can listen to the playback here on YouTube. All you do is just type in my call sign and look for today's date, and then you can listen to our QSO. But yeah, it's a 5.9 armchair copy, as they say. Roger?
Oh, sure. By the way, I would say the 2000 is pretty, yeah, it's not going to have a receiver like an 890 or a 990, but I would say that the 2000 receiver is something like a 756 Pro 3. I would say it's equal to that, maybe. You know, it's got noise reduction is good, and the auto notch works very well, and the beat cancel works good, and the CW filters work good, and it covers, you know, all the low, and plus VHF. I'm on 2 meters. The stepper covers 6, and I'm on 2 meters. I've got a 12-element M squared 10 feet above the stepper, and it works. I get the one for 2 meter horizontal and polarized and 2 meter vertical, horizontal and sideband, and it works out great with 2 meters. And then I got a 2 meter amp, the Tokyo High Power HL510V. So it also is a good 2 meter station. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's terrific. You know, anytime you can add something to the station, or you know, just a little bit of tweaks here and there seem to make some really huge gains, and it sounds like you're well on your way. So, well, let's say 7.3s for now, Neil. Thanks for coming back, and nice to get a chance to work you. Hope you have a great weekend coming up, and look forward to kind of picking up where we left off when you come back next time. Let's say 7.3s for now. Have fun what's left today. Make some contacts down there on the JAs. Have fun with that, and have a great weekend. We'll say 7.3s for now. Kilowatt 1 November Delta Foxtrot, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend. 7.3s.
Yeah. What's your handle again?
Handle here is Randy. Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee.
K-Randy 73s. K0RWB. K1NDF. Clear for now.
Okay, 7.3s. K0RWB. Randy in Kansas City. QRZ.
Kilo Delta 1. Delta Mike.
Kilo Delta 1. Delta Mike. Good afternoon, David. How are you?
Not too bad. Snowy day here over in Massachusetts. Over.
Well, I'm glad you said it's over there. I don't want any more snow today. I don't want any more snow this year. I think we're out of it, at least for a little bit there, but apparently you guys are getting quite a bit.
Yeah, it's been snowing nonstop since yesterday, so, you know, that's the way it goes. So nothing heavy, just keeps plugging along. We probably got, I don't know, 6 inches or so since yesterday, so nothing serious, but they're talking about a huge warm-up next week, so I'm ready for that. Over.
Yeah, I think they told us, well, you know, however the news is, but they were saying Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we could be pushing 60. I said, you know, that's really nice compared to we just been 11 days below 15 degrees and several mornings in the negative digits. It's supposed to be 35 tomorrow, and I mean that's going to feel like you know, being down in Phoenix. So I'm thinking we'll have a party and t-shirts and shorts required. Roger.
Yeah, received. Well, it's coming. It's you know, we'll be there before you know it. We'll be complaining about the heat, but hey, so be it. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting for the weather to break and plowing a little snow, and that's about it on my end. Over.
Yeah, I had a couple other contacts earlier, New York, another one in Mass, and they, you know, kind of saying the same thing. You know, yeah, it's coming down. You know, we got to kind of work around it, and so forth. And I'm like, you know, every time there's a snow event, there's always a potential of something you would have never thought would happen, and it kind of makes you want to walk around on like you're walking on eggshells, or waiting for the other shoe to fall, as they say. And that's the thing that always gets me. You know, it never failed. It's never you. It's always somebody else that causes issues, and that's why I never look forward to any snowstorms, Roger.
Yeah, I think we're living in the wrong part of the country for that, and hey, it is what it is. You know, we just take it all in stride, and we'll make it through. Be mowing the lawn before long over.
You know, I'm actually looking forward to that, and that would be great. You know, I think one of the nicest things since sliced bread was the hex beam. The other greatest thing since sliced bread has been the zero-turn mower. I've got one of those now, and boy, does that make it enjoyable to cut grass instead of going, oh God, I can't stand it. But it's actually a lot more fun cutting grass, Roger.
Yeah, I hear you for sure. Hey, I was talking to you yesterday about that hex beam. I kind of cut it off short, but anyway, when I bring mine all the way down to 10 feet off the ground, my SWR does go up somewhat. And they say that when you tune those, you really need to have them at the height you're going to be running them at. So they'll work down low, and mine works really well down low, but it works better up high, obviously. And the SWR is a little better up high, so that was what I was talking about with that SWR yesterday. Over.
Yeah, I know. I think you were mentioning something like that, you know, and I didn't really worry about it or pay that much attention to it when I first got it put together, because I just wanted to see if it, you know, how it would work. And it was, like I said, it was only 4 foot off the ground, and was able to call CQ and then end up getting the UK. On my push-up pole, when I have another one that I used to take on portables, and my push-up pole was about 25 feet, and I really never noticed anything on FWRs. I've never used the internal tuner. I don't even own a tuner, because it's always been resonant, and so I really didn't notice that much. It would certainly make sense that it would at lower angles or lower altitude, excuse me. But yeah, some people are saying above 50 it makes no difference. You're not gaining anything. I'm waiting to see if that happens, because that's the next thing we're going to try when the weather gets warm.
Yeah, well, like I said before, the SWR is resonant no matter, you know, what I do with it. But you know, on 20 it's like not even 1-to-1. It's kind of a little bit less than that. And I kind of tweak it out with a tuner and get it right down to 0. So that's kind of what I shoot for, is a perfect match. And but anyway, they say over 35 feet, the gain that you'll gain in the additional height is marginal. So yeah, you can raise it up higher. I don't know. It seemed to me like higher it is, the better you're going to do. But apparently it doesn't do an awful lot. And I think what happens is you get some radiation off the ground when it's so low, and that may be what kills the SWR just a little bit. But these things are the greatest things since sliced toast. Over.
Yeah, I think so too. I just wish I'd have been the one who would have thought of it, but it didn't happen. Well, you know, we've got, and of course you've got the same rig, so I'm looking at the meter function. So it shows your ALC, your compression, SWR, and then what your percentages of your inflection. And it's, I don't know, it's not even getting close to 1.5. So 1.2, 1.3. The radio's happy with it. Apparently the antenna is as well, and I don't see a reason to touch it at that point. But I think is at lower angles, it's reflecting down and bouncing back up, which is kind of killing it. But Roger Rockwell, who is one I bought my hex from, NA4RR, when the conversation I had with him before I bought it, he said optimal height was 30 to 50 feet. So I thought, well, we don't want to go quite that high, so that's why I pegged it at 45 foot. And again, I'm not having any complaints. As I said before, if I hear a station, I can generally work them. I might have to wait my turn in the pile-up. I may not be over top of them, but I've not been able to not work somebody if I've heard them there, Roger.
Yeah, that's true. I got the same thing going on here. So, hey, I was looking at your mic there. What are you using for a microphone? Over.
This is a used Heil. It's called an HM12. When I went in to pick up the rig a month ago, everything was Yaesu, and so the cables, everything wasn't going to work. And I asked the salesman, who's also the owner. I said, "Well, how about the Heil Gold line?" He goes, "Yeah, it's a good microphone." And about 10 minutes before I came in, excuse me, I bumped my mic. But before I came in, a young man had come in with a silent key radio equipment, and this was the microphone. He had an older Yaesu at the time. So I said, "Will this mic work?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it'll work really good for this rig." So I honestly don't know the age of it. I don't know when it was produced. I know it works, and we're going to continue using it. I like it so far. It does not have a way of unhooking the cable from the microphone itself, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But otherwise, yeah, it works out real well.
Yeah, receive. Yeah, I got the gold line myself with the ICM interface cable. And yeah, there's some talk about that. That's the only downfall of this mic is it doesn't have a plug on the back of the mic. It's hardwired. So, but I like this mic.
Hello.
It works really well. And you guys probably got yourself a real bargain on the one you got over.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it came down altogether. I think it was right around $60. And as soon as I said that, my boom started moving on my table. So if you're watching the stream, you're going, "What's this guy doing?" Yeah, my boom just fell off my table, almost fell in my lap while we're talking. But no, I've been really happy with it, and it seems to work with the rig really well. Like I said, it was already on an ICOM, so I assume it was kind of set up for that. And so the new I got a new rig coming this next week, and I'll probably go back to the microphone I had on the previous rig, which I like quite well, because I don't know if this one will work, but we'll probably play with both, Roger.
Yeah, I hear you. What do you have there for a boom over?
Oh, it's a Heil boom. It doesn't really like this table too much. We're in an alternate location today, so that's why we're not able to rotate the beam. We don't have the capability of doing that unless we do it by hand. And we're even running a different amplifier today, but we were trying to be cognizant of the YL's online courses today with our headset we were interfering with yesterday, so that's why we ran barefoot. So we had to move to a different location today and try to make everything seem like it was yesterday, Roger.
Yeah, received. I hear you about that. You got to keep the wife happy for sure. Hey, I was wondering, maybe you got some RF interference there or something going on with that Endure headset there. So I don't know. I move things around. I had some RF coming back into my computer speakers, and I don't know. I never really resolved it, but it seems to have resolved itself. So I'm not quite sure what that was all about. But that RF is kind of some weird stuff over.
Yeah, I thought this could be an ongoing issue with the wife's setup. She's got an office in one of the spare bedrooms next to mine, and I don't want that to continue happening. So I did order some ferrite beads this morning, various sizes. So we're going to put that on the LMR 400 and probably around the mic cable as well, and see if we can kind of reduce some of that RFI and hopefully it won't cause any issues. Of course, when you get these little inexpensive microphone headsets from, wherever is what she's using, they're not shielded or anything like that. So I may even put a couple on her cable and see if that will rectify it as well, Roger.
Yeah, Reese, there's a kit out there for the 7300. It has all the ferrite beads and so forth for the ICOM 7300, and it comes as a kit. And I don't know, I've kind of forgotten now. I looked at it one time, but it's got a bunch of ferrites that go on the receiver and on your antenna and so forth, over.
Yeah, I've never had any of that issue before, and I'm wondering if it maybe has something to do with the new amplifier. The other setup I have, I'm actually on the old amplifier, which is in the other location. It's an old Ten-Tech Hercules 2, solid state. And I don't have it in the same location, of course, but when I did oh gosh, it might have been a year or so ago, I had just a temporary setup in the same location where my shack is. We didn't have any issues, so I'm just wondering if maybe I've got to do something with that amplifier. It might need a better ground or something, but yeah, we don't want to interfere with the YL because she's the one bringing in the big bucks there, Roger.
Yeah, I hear you there. That's the one thing I did do is I changed my whole ground setup, and I got everything grounded, and it's all goes to a common point ground. It's my service panel, so no ground loops or anything like that. And it took some time, head scratching, but I finally got what I wanted and got it figured out the way I wanted it. I'm not sure whether it makes any difference or not, but that may have been what killed my RFs going into my computer speakers. That may have been the problem. Over.
Yeah, it's a good possibility, no doubt. We've got an 8-foot copper ground rod that's in the front garden, which is right below one of the windows in my office. So we've got maybe 15 foot that we have to go from the window down to the ground rod. So it seems to work real well, and then we've kind of tied each one of the pieces of component off separately. But I may have to check my ground again on the amplifier, and it just could be when you're throwing out a kilowatt, it just may you may have some interference. So that's why I thought we'd give the ferrite beads a go. We have it on the hex beam at the top up there. Of course, we've got an L connector where the cable hooks into. We bought that because that was a suggestion, but we didn't put anything on the inside the shack, so we may be doing that next week as well. Roger.
Yeah, receive. There's a lot of controversy on grounding, but you say tie everything together and to a common point ground. Then I listened to an article from a guy in California. He's kind of an Elmer, really knows his stuff, and he said it should be tied to a single point ground at your service panel entrance. And code says that everything goes to that single point. So I had the same thing. I had a ground rod for my equipment, and it was a very, very short ground rod or path to the ground rod, but I changed it around. Now it goes to my panel entrance into the house. So change that around. The other thing they say happens is that as you lengthen the ground length, cable length, it actually picks up can pick up the frequency. It resonates on a certain frequency that you may be transmitting on. So you may be, picking up that what do they call it, the next frequency up on the ground cable. So yeah, do some research on it before you change anything over.
Yeah, it's everything else seems to work okay with it, but again, it just kind of showed up the last day or two, and she doesn't do this too often. So again, it could be really inexpensive headphones that you can buy through Amazon or what have you. And my shack is as far away in the house to the service panel as you can get. So we have a 4-level house. I'm in the top 4th level, and the panel is in the basement. And yeah, that would be a nightmare. So that's why we stuck it outside the window. But everything else is grounded and shielded okay. But like I said, this could be minor. I'm not really too concerned at the moment. I'll figure out a way to make it work and make sure that she's happy as well. Roger.
Yeah, receive. Yeah, it was the harmonics I was talking about. I couldn't think of it at the moment, but you may be transmitting on a second harmonic on the length of that ground rod. Just look up harmonics and grounds, and there's a ton of information out there. Over.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about the internet. Boy, if you need an answer, that's a good place to find it. And same as YouTube. We tried a very few brief minutes this morning on FT8 with the rig. We watched a really quick video of how to set it up with the software. So I think we made 2 or 3 contacts on FT8. Yeah, it's okay. It may be something you got to get used to, but just wanted to see how it worked, what was the big deal about it, I guess, when it first came out. And and we wasn't bothering the wife because we were just running it barefoot, of course. So, but yeah, it was interesting to say the least, Roger.
Yeah, there's some people out there that run power on FT8. That kind of defeats the purpose of it. But yeah, I've run some FT8 I don't know, kind of boring to me because you can't have a ratchet jaw conversation, and I kind of like a QSO where I can ratchet jaw a little bit, and none of that on FT8. But hey, listen, we're going to let you go. I'm sure there's other people in there who want to jump in, so we want to monopolize things here. We'll say 73, and best to you and your family. Stay safe away from that COVID, and maybe we'll catch you tomorrow. Over.
Yeah, it sounds good, David. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped in, and I mean 20 to 25 plus signals, so we got a good little pipeline. Maybe I won't have to worry about my rotor anymore. I'll just let it sit where it's at. But yeah, I think we're going to try to do this again tomorrow. Usually the weekends we get a little tied up, but at this point, I think we'll have some time. We're going to try to do it again tomorrow about 2 o'clock, and I'm sure the band will be really crazy then. So we'll see what happens. But and then of course during the week, so far so good. So, but yeah, I'm glad you stopped by. Glad we had a chance to talk, and always sounds good in my receive. And I don't see anything changing. Your equipment is just working real well. Yeah, I think we're both doing okay. So that's the main thing. Enjoy the rest what's left of the day, and have a good weekend as well. My boom just fell down again. I got to go fix this thing. I'll say 73s. Kilo Delta 1, Delta Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City, 73s.
Yeah, there, Randy. I was just going to mention, the other thing I was going to mention about my hex beam is I can work off the back side of it. I can work off the sides of it. Obviously, head-on works better, but it's amazing. This thing works in all directions. Over.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good side rejection. I will have to give them that. Front to back, not so much, but to me, that's a bonus because you can pull in those stations on the back side, so that's kind of a cool thing. So, but no, I certainly understand what you're saying there, Roger.
Yep, 73 there, my friend.
Okay, we'll try that again. Sorry about that. We'll say 73s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City, KRZ.
Whiskey Alpha 2 Lima, Yankee Sierra.
The Whiskey Alpha 2 again, please.
Yeah, it's a Whiskey Alpha 2 Lima, Yankee Sierra, WA2LYS. Copy.
Okay, Glenn, I got you that time. Sorry about that. Our boom mic decided to take a fall here before I was actually ready for it, so I had to grab it and try to tighten it back on before everything fell down at one time. Well, good afternoon. How are things going for you in New York?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit cold over here. The weather hasn't been cooperating very much. A little bit of snow, not like it is out there, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, we haven't gotten hit with a lot of snow, but boy, it sure has been cold here the last 2.5 weeks. I think we're kind of breaking through starting tomorrow, about 35 degrees, which will be like a big summer warm-up from what we've had the last couple of weeks. But I understand you guys are getting quite a bit of snow the last 24 hours, Roger?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a lot. It really wasn't. It was only maybe about 2 inches, 3 inches, something like that, where I am here in Manhattan. I don't even think it was 3 inches, maybe 2 inches, and it's all pretty much back to the way it was. But we did have a pretty big snowstorm last week, which is unusual. We've either been getting one a year or nothing for the last few years, but I guess this year is going to be a little bit different. But anyway, going on vacation next week to Florida. We were there last month for a few days, and I'm going to be taking the radio, and when we're mobile down there in the Florida Keys, I'll be warming up and using my radio, and I'm really looking forward to it, because I do not like the cold weather here. And give me the name. I'm not actually logged into QRZ.
Yeah, no problem, Glenn. The name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee, and we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I've been hearing you in and out for a while. I was tuned into this frequency and doing some other things on the computer earlier and heard you talking to some people. You have a fairly good antenna pretty high off the ground, correct?
I'm running a hex beam. I have a hex beam, and it's 45 feet from the base plate to the ground. Roger.
Okay, not bad. So the band's in, I guess, a little bit better condition. I haven't been hearing much lately, but I don't have that much of an antenna either. I'm just, I have a MFJ base whip. I guess the whip is about 5 feet long, and there's a loading coil where you can change the tap and change the length of the counterpoise, and it resonates, not too bad. It's for what it is, and the fact that it's so small, it doesn't work too badly. I'm up here on the 6th floor, so we're up at about 60 to 70 feet, right?
Yeah, fine business. Is that the antenna that you've got the picture on your QRZ page?
That's it. That's exactly what I'm looking at out the window right here.
Okay, fine business. What's that sitting on? Do you have like a little balcony outside the window there?
No, negative there, Randy. Well, it came with a clamp that you could, configure lots of different ways and clamp the windows. It wasn't really that convenient, so what I did is I put a air conditioner bracket that would hold a room air conditioner, and bolted that to the building. And then I have a little L bracket that I bent so that it's pointed away from the building at about a 30-degree angle. Randy, go ahead.
Oh, fine business. That's the cool thing about amateur radio. If there's a will, there's a way. We'll find a way to get on the air, and you're a prime example. No, I think it's terrific. It's working quite well. And I would guess that the little gator clip on your coil is to change the FWRs to get it resonant. No, I was just curious if you've got a little gator clip on the outside of the coil. I'm just wondering if you use that to change the FWRs to get it resonant, or does that help you change the bands? Glenn, are you still in there? Whiskey Alpha 2, Lima Yankee Sierra? Yeah, we'll try one more time. Whiskey Alpha 2, Lima Yankee Sierra. Glenn, are you still in there? K0RWB, back to you. Well, I guess the band's dropped out on us, so sorry about that, Glenn. At least we got a short queue, so I'll say 7-3s. Have a good weekend. Whiskey Alpha 2, Lima Yankee Sierra, Kilowatt 0. Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Clear QRZ.
Victor Echo 2, Alpha Romeo Whiskey.
K0. November 1, Hotel.
Victor Alpha 2 again, please.
Oscar. Victor Echo 2, Alpha Romeo Whiskey.
Yeah, Victor Echo 2, Romeo, Alpha Romeo Whiskey. Is that a Roger?
Roger, and I'm running a hex beam here.
Oh, well, fine business. Well, congrats. I think it's a wonderful antenna there, no doubt. Let me pull it up here real quick. Make sure I've got it typed in here properly. So this would be Richard. Is that a Roger?
Roger. There's Richard, and there's a picture of the hex on the roof of my cottage, my house.
Okay, fine business. And what manufacturer hex beam do you have there?
This was a homebrew one made from the plan from Leo Shoemaker, I think it was.
Oh, fine business. And is it? And how many bands do you have it set up for?
5. I have 5 bands, and I've had it up for about 10 years. I've never had a problem with it, so it's been very, very good.
Yeah, fine business. I've had mine up since about 2012. And I bring it down once a year. I have it on a tower with a tilt base, and I bring it down once a year just for inspection to make sure everything is okay. I've never had to do any adjustments to it. We've been through several ice storms and several windstorms of over 70 miles an hour, and it just flops around, and it just keeps on working. I think it's a wonderful thing, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yes, I do agree. I watch mine bumping around. I think the brake on my rotor is getting a little bit worn, but I have a sort of homemade hazer that I can run mine down to the roof level. I have a flat roof, so I run it down once a year, as Mr. said, and just check things out. But I've never had any issues.
Yeah, that's terrific. We've been fortunate as well. I didn't like the idea of having a whole lot of weight at the very top of my tower. So when we put the rotor in, we have a Ham 2 rotor, which is a little overkill, but we had a good price at a Hamfest, and it's inside the tower, about 4 foot off the ground, and then we run a center mass pipe up. We have a thrust bearing about halfway up, and we have another one at the very top. That way we keep the weight off the top of the tower, and if we ever have to service the rotor, we could take it out of service and we could still use the antenna there, Roger.
Roger, that's a splendid idea. I would think that rotor thinks it's on vacation because it doesn't even know it's got an antenna above it. There's no weight anyway.
Yeah, and whatever it is, it's very. I think probably the mass pipe web probably weighs more than the antenna does. But it was a very good Hamfest purchase, and there was a company in Alabama I'd sent it to have it refurbished, of all new bearings and grease and so forth, and sent it back, and it's worked ever since. And even in this extremely cold weather, you push the button, it turns. I'm in an alternate location today, other than my normal ham shack, so I have no way of turning it. So we preset it at 90 degrees today from Missouri, and so we're getting the eastern seaboard, and apparently we're getting up into Canada as well, there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on Canada. I have an S9 signal on you, so it's very good. I'm just running 100 watts here. I don't know about you, but yes, your signal is great.
Yeah, you're doing quite well here. I'm showing you about 5.9 as well. I did copy 100 watts barefoot. I think you said that you were running the ICOM 7300. We are as well. We were also running. We have an old solid-state amplifier, old Ten-Tech Hercules 2, that we're using currently as well, and it's doing about 500 on peak, sir, Roger.
Okay, on the Ten-Tech, that's great. Okay, so everything is working fine, so I'll let you make a couple more contacts. It was a pleasure to talk to you, Randy, and maybe we'll do it again another time. Hex to hex, as they say.
Oh, no problem, and look forward to it. I don't know if you heard the last go round or what have you, but we're also live streaming on YouTube right now. So if you're interested in listening to our QSO and the Hex to Hex, you can certainly log into YouTube, go in the search bar, put in my call sign K0RWB, and look for today's dates video, and then you could listen to the playback. It's quite fun. I did a lot of audio changes on my 7300 after listening to my playback, because I thought I sounded terrible. Maybe not much better now, but somewhat. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. If you ever get the time, please do so. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, thank you for taking the trouble to do that. Yes, I will have a look, and that'll be my pleasure. So, yes, thank you, and that's good news. So I'll also listen to my audio, though people say it's set pretty well at the moment, so I'm fairly satisfied with it.
Yeah, I would be too. It does sound quite good, Richard. It's just something that we started doing 3 weeks ago. And not many chances we have the opportunity to listen to our own audio. So to me, it was a big eye opener. I enjoyed it, and we're just kind of passing it on. We're having fun doing it as well. And so we started doing this about every day, 2 o'clock Central Time. We come out here for a couple of hours, and we make contacts. We talk about today's events or how the weather is and so forth, and we live stream it as well. And we've had some really nice positive feedback from that. We've enjoyed doing it, and I think we will for a while. But yeah, thanks for checking in. I'm glad you had a chance to stop by. Nice to work you up in Canada, and we always have a good connection when we go hex to hex. There's no doubt about it. 7-3s, and thank you once again. Have a great weekend coming up, and look forward to working you again. Victor Echo 2, Alpha Romeo Whiskey, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Thanks again.
Okay, Randy, 7-3, and thank you so much for the contact. 7-3.
Roger, 7-3 is K0RWB. We're clear in QRZ.
Kilo for
and November 1, Hotel Mike Sierra.
The November station again, please.
Heavy November 1, Hotel Mike Sierra.
Okay, there was a couple in there with you. Apologize for that. Got you pulled up that time there. How are things going for you this afternoon?
Did you get the Hotel Mike Sierra?
I did, Michael. Come on back there. How are things up in Rhode Island?
Oh, there you go. Not too bad today. We got, we had about 5 inches of snow yesterday. You got another 3 inches today. It's been a fairly steady late snow all day. About 29 to 30 degrees, so it's not, it's a nice snowman snow. Go ahead.
Well, I'm over the snowman snow for the year. Actually, I'd like to see some of that rain man, so to speak. Luckily, we usually we'll get the ice first, and then it turns to snow. So then you've got that to deal with. We didn't have that this go around. We have not had a lot of snow this particular season until the last 10 days or so, and that's when we got hit with the Arctic blast, like I think 3/4 of the country. But about 6 inches on the ground, and we haven't broke 32 yet in about 14 days. That's going to start tomorrow. I think we were at 26 today. Tomorrow's supposed to be about 35, and I'm so excited about it. I think I'm going to have a barbecue, invite all my friends, but that's T-shirts and shorts required there, Roger.
Yeah, no, I know it was kind of a cold blast there for the middle section, especially for those that aren't really used to it. I mean, we've had probably total since, I think around December to now, about 3.5 feet of snow, on and off. So we've got a good, it'll be just below your knee snow now. I'm pretty much done with it myself. The older I get being up this way in Northeast, the more I want to move to where the snow doesn't come down, Go ahead.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The YL has a couple more years yet before she retires, and I told her, I said, when you have a chance to retire, as I did, I said we want to decided we want to go where we're at 72, no matter what part of the year. So we've got that to look forward to. I don't have a problem with the cold. I just don't like it. I know you can always put more clothes on to stay warm, but I would rather prefer shorts and T-shirts year-round if I could get by with it. But again, I'm not complaining per se because I can't do anything about it. Today does make it one day closer to spring, and we'll all get through it. And then, I have a feeling a few months from now we'll be complaining about how hot it is, Roger.
Yeah, that's generally how it works, but I'll take the warmth more than the snow. With our business and stuff, we do a lot with boats. I mean, we've been working pretty steady all winter anyway. We have some boats inside and marine service as well as mechanical and stuff. So we've been keeping 2 guys going pretty much all season, so that's really good for us. But I really would rather have the warmer weather for sure. Well, I got a 7300 here as well. I heard you talking. You were on a 7300, and I'm just on a inverted V dipole. And I think I brought the tower down a little bit because of the wind from the other day. So I think it's probably about 25 feet up. But you sound really good here into Rhode Island. I think you said you was Randy, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, Randy, that's right. K0RWB for ID. Hey, if you don't mind, take a minute. I'm really curious. On your 7300, I'd be curious what your mic setting is and what you have set for compression there.
So I'm using the stock mic, and my mic setting is at 62%, and the comp is at number 5.
Okay, fine business. Yeah, it's interesting. I've talked to dozens of operators with 7300s. They all sound good, but I'm really interested in the different settings, and a lot of it's because our voice and so on and so forth. I've got mic gain set at 20, and I've got compression set at 2, and then the bass I think is set at +3, and my treble's at +4. It's really interesting how, and that's a nice thing about being able to make those changes because we all have different voices. And I don't think I've talked to anybody yet who has the same settings, and it's really interesting. That's why I was just kind of curious, Roger.
Oh, yeah. No, it's November 1, Hotel Mike Sierra. I was going to look up the YouTube, like you were saying there before, just to try to hear myself in the background. Maybe I might need to adjust it or not. I'm not quite sure. You never know what you sound like on the other end. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I ran into. I got this radio a month ago today, and a good friend of mine who's another YouTube streamer, he's in Cutler Bay, Florida. His call is Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. His name's Alex, and he's very familiar with the radio. And I called him on the phone, and we made a couple of adjustments, and then got on the air. And of course, he's doing a live stream every day like I do, and I would check in with him, and then listen to the playbacks. And I just thought it sounded terrible. And then we started making some changes and so forth. Your audio right now to me is what I like to say is full flavored. I can hear the low end, I can hear the high end, but it's not too sharp. It's really nice and crisp. It doesn't sound like it's driving too hard. Again, Michael, you would be the ultimate decider. So yeah, if you wanted to listen to it, just go to the YouTube and listen to the playback, and then you can decide. And that's what I did because I thought it sounded terrible. I made a couple of tweaks here or there, add a little bit more bass to mine, believe it or not, and I'm like you. I think it sounds pretty good. I've had good reports, but you don't know until you hear it, Roger.
Yeah, no, correct. No, you sound really good. I mean, it's radios that you almost want to turn them down. But yeah, I've had this radio probably almost a year now, and I'm sure it can do more than I can ever imagine. For what I'm doing, it works out pretty well. Every day I learn a little bit new, something new with it. And it's got the manual here, so I kind of, browse through it. But now I'm in my little workshop. I got a 12 by 20 little workshop with the heat going, and I got the radio in the corner, so I usually leave it on. And I heard you in there. You're coming into Rhode Island 9+ here, really well.
Yeah, well, conditions are helping us quite a little bit. There's no doubt about it. And I think you said you're running the stock mic, and in years past, it was just kind of an afterthought. A stock mic just to get on the air. But if you wanted to have good audio, you go to a different mic. Well, that's not really the case. The stock mics are really nice. They're condenser mics, and they do a terrific job. And I like to have my hands free. I'm typing on the screen and so on and so forth, so I'm using a Heil boom mic. Not terribly expensive, by the way, but it's a little bit easier for me to do things. I know you can run the stock mic on Vox, and I know people who are using it as a boom, but it just made more sense for me to run this. And but no, like I said, you'd be a good example of listening to the playback and deciding how your audio is. I think it sounds terrific. I really, really do. I mean, your setup is working phenomenal. Of course, the band is helping us, but I'd be hard pressed for you to make a change. But then you'd have to decide that, Roger.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm glad for the report. I never really. I get a lot of people that say that this radio sounds really well, and but I will. I'm gonna look it up here. I don't have my Surface Pro with me right now. I have to go out back in the house, but I'll bring it back up so I can hear it. Well, Randy, it was great talking to you. I'm sure there's a couple other guys out there that might want to get in. I don't want to tie it up too long. You sounded really good here into Rhode Island. This is November 1, Hotel Mike Sierra.
Yeah, fine business, Mike, and I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad we got a chance to talk, and yeah, I copied the 1 year on the rig, so I feel like a newbie with 1 month, but it's a very popular radio. I held out as long as I could, and I finally took the plunge, so to speak. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend coming up. we're generally out here 2 o'clock Central every day. The weekends it's kind of hit and miss. I think at this point we'll be here tomorrow as well. So if you have a chance to stop in again, and we'll just kind of pick up where we left off. And like I said, you get a chance to listen to the stream, and you kind of like what you hear, whatever, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when we're back out again, and we'll do another check-in and see how things are going in your part of the country. Anyway, I'll say 7-3 for now. Thanks for giving us a shout, and look forward to working you again. November 1 Hotel Mike Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, 7-3s.
All right, Randy. Yeah, 73. I'll definitely look you up and check it out. I get in here through this time to time in the afternoon, so that sounds good. All right, 73s. Have some fun.
Okay, 7-3s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, KRZ.
Kilo 4, Romeo Hotel Sierra.
Kilo 4, Romeo Hotel Sierra. Raymond, how are you today?
Good, Randy. I've been listening to QSO there, 59 plus into South Florida. Actually, I'm about a quarter mile away from Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel United. Good friend on the radio there. But sounded choice into Cutler Bay there, Roger.
Wow, you mean I've made contact to 2 people in Cutler Bay? It must be a really big town.
It's a small town with a lot of heart. That's I gotta say that. Plus, there's another operator, Rudy. He's Whiskey 4 Alpha Bravo. He's probably about 3 blocks away from me. So within let's say a quarter mile span is 3 to 4 ham operators there. Okay.
Okay, and so who's got the best setup?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I got 10 pounds of radio in a 5-pound bag. And of course, you know Alex, so need I say more? And Rudy doesn't have any pictures of his shack there, but his antenna array in his backyard it does the job. I'll tell you right now. There, go ahead.
Yeah, I like your accent better than I do Alex's, though. Don't tell him I said that. You know what? Truth be told, I have to give him all the credit. I started just running across him from time to time on his live stream with my other rig and setup, and I thought that was a pretty little novel idea that you could actually come back later and listen to your audio. I thought that was a really cool deal. I didn't really quite realize that I sounded that bad on my old rig, at least in my ears. And then we picked up this rig a month ago today, and my first phone call was to Alex, and we talked on the phone. And of course, I think he said he's owned several of these, so he told me, try this to start this, try this setting in the beginning. And then I checked in with him on the air, and I played it back later, and I said, man, that just sounds even worse. I don't even want to be on the air. So little by little, we've kind of massaged it a little bit to where we're at today, so we've been pretty pleased with it. But I did send him a text this morning, and I said, we just ordered the new rig. It'll be here next week. And he's like, well, what did you get? I said, you'll just have to wait and hear it. So we'll see how much he likes the anticipation. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Now, well, he's on 310 right now. I talked to him probably about 20 minutes ago, short QSO. And he had his son on the radio. He was making some calls as well. But yeah, you got the hex beam, the same manufacturer as I do. I got the 7300. Again, the tone is the individual. I guess I got a flat, high-pitched, nasally kind of tone to my voice, and yours is a bit of a baritone. The radio does come out across that, and the adjustments. You need to have a playback, which when you have somebody who's you got YouTube or can allow live stream in there, it really does help out a lot. And I listen in, and I've actually talked to other operators who have made contact, just like yourself, with Alex, and improved their station based on just a short QSO or a playback. But yeah, we enjoy the radio, enjoy the QSOs. I heard you out here a couple of times there. Usually I turn the radio on, do some work, and then XYL grabs me, and then I'm off. But I wanted to jump in there and just say hello there. You're doing a fine job with your radio, great sounding station. So Kilo Zero Romeo Whiskey Bravo, Kilo 4 Romeo Hotel Sierra. Just want to let you do your DXing, and we'll maybe contact each other one more time there in near future. Roger?
Oh, fine business. Yeah, and your audio is just crystal clear. I don't think I would change a thing. If you're getting good signal reports, I can see why. Yeah, it's really good, and I can't say I've heard a bad 7300. I've heard lots of them, especially since I started doing this now. And you know, last week I talked to 3 different operators who had just bought the 7300 within days, and you know, to me the factory settings are not good, and for most people. And you know, just a couple of slight. I said, let's just try this as a suggestion, and made some slight adjustments. And then I told them about the channel, and then they would come back and listen to it. And I got text messages, I got a couple of emails, some live chats. Oh wow, what a big difference, so on and so forth. You know, it's kind of nice. Nobody wants to sound terrible. I mean, we all want to try to sound as good as possible, because if you sound bad, you probably won't get many contacts. And that's what Alex did for me. And he's the one that kind of told me to pursue this, because, you know, where you guys are at, you're going to hear stations I don't. And where I'm at, I'm going to hear stations that you guys don't hear. So, you know, it kind of works out well. So I'm really enjoying it, but I have to give all the credit to him. Roger?
Yeah, Roger on that. Oh, absolutely there. There was a station, because I also use the Heil PR77 microphone, and there's a station, I believe, I don't remember his call, out in New Mexico, and he said, do these settings. Heil has preset settings for the ICOM site has a preset settings for Heil microphones, and I tried those settings, but I don't think, again, you know, he helped me out. I don't think the bass really came out as much. There was not as much punch along with clarity. And that's what sometimes you're looking for, the punch to drive, you know, a little bit more signal out there, and the clarity, you know, for typical QSOs. It's kind of an equal balance there. But, you know, for the most part, it's a unique sort of situation for each operator. But, yep, well, that's what I got there. We also have a Kenwood TSA 50S, which is hooked up to an SB200, and that's our backup. Our primary is this ICOM, and that's you know, we toggle between the both, you know, just to get one radio rest and the other one just to, you know, dust it off there, and occasionally we do that. All right, we're going to say 73 is the best, Randy. It's been a pleasure. Let you do your thing. We'll catch up again, I'm sure. So Kilo Zero Romeo Whiskey Bravo got K0RWB, Ray. We're going to say 73s, and we'll talk next time. Roger?
Okay, Ray. Hey, thanks for giving us a call, and nice to work you. Very very small world right there in Cutler Bay. So now I know 2 people there. That's terrific. Hey, have a great weekend, and come back and see us when you get a chance here. We'll talk further. But yeah, congrats on the rig. Hex beam is a no-brainer in my book anyway, and of course you got good weather as well. Well, you got all pluses. I've got nothing but downside here. Take care, and we'll talk real soon. Kilowatt 4 Romeo Hotel Sierra, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. 73s, my friend.
Ciao, all the best.
Okay, K0RWB. I've got time for one more call, and then I'm going to have to go QRT. Let's see if we can get one more station today. Was that Kilowatt Delta 0 United Sugar?
United Sugar Alpha, Kilo Delta 0 USA. Good afternoon there, Mr. Randy. From Kilo Delta 0 United Sugar Alpha, Palm Beach County, Florida.
Okay, if I typed it right, is this Barry there? Go ahead. Okay, fine business, Barry. How are things in your part of the world today?
We just got icicles on the palm trees at 79 degrees right now. Over.
Well, you didn't have to give me a weather report. I was feeling pretty good until you said that. I think we had a high of 28 today, so I think you beat me by a long way.
That's a whole lot better than what my son's got down there in San Antonio, Texas. He's still freezing down there. But anyway, we want to
appreciate that. I wish I had something to do with it, but I guess those folks at Icon and I think Bob Heil had something to do with it as well, is my understanding. Yeah, they did a terrific job. The only thing that might be a little different with this is I'm running a Heil microphone, but otherwise, whatever the settings are and whatever what's going on inside the rig, they'll have to take credit for there, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, the radio I'm talking on is 46 years old. It's a high gain 3750 out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and the only amateur HF station at high gain ever produced in the United States of America, just prior to them going out of business. So that's what you're hearing here, a high gain 3750, and I'm Sugar Baker 200 with an end-fed antenna. Go ahead.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, it's definitely working for you. If I remember right, back in the day, High Gain also did CBs, did they not?
Oh, yeah, they did. And this is the only amateur radio they ever made. And the fellow that designed it, he just passed away recently, but he was living out there in Kansas City. He was just living the other side of the water there from you, across the railroad tracks. His name was John Furman.
I'll be darned. Well, then you've got yourself quite a vintage collector's piece, and one that's operational as well. So that's terrific. And I think you said end-fed. Yeah, I guess there's a good pipeline today in Florida. Every station I've heard has been 5.9 plus. The bands have been really nice for today, Roger.
I'm in a gated community, so I can't put up a beam or anything like that, but they do allow me to have my end-fed antennas up, so that's what I talk on. Okay, Randy, you have a wonderful afternoon. We're going to wish you the best. Thanks for coming back to our station. I know you want to get off there and you want to do whatever you got to do, so be safe, stay healthy, and enjoy ham radio. Have fun. Mr. Randy, out there in the show me state of Missouri, K0RWB, sounding good like your own real estate here in Palm Beach County, Florida, from Kilo Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha.
Okay, Barry. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. I'm glad you had a chance to stop by. Hopefully we can work again real soon. We do this on a daily basis, starting about 2 o'clock Central Time, up until either the bands shut us down or the wild taps us on the shoulder. And usually the weekends are kind of up in the air. It looks like we're gonna try to be back out here tomorrow as well. If not, you can certainly catch us during the week. 7-3, thank you again, and thanks for the story on the high gain. That's a very cool deal. I'll be looking to pass it on to some of my counterparts around here. Have a great weekend. Thank you again. Kilowatt Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha, USA, K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear. 7-3s. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear in QRT.